ENG, are we in the building? No, you can do better than that. ENG, are we in the building? Okay. I'll wait for everyone to settle down. Welcome to another installment of the ENG Mondays. I know normally you expect to see me at the end of the program, but today you've got the pleasure of seeing me at the beginning. Yeah. Now I thought you'd make a bit of noise for that. Okay. So of course, yesterday we had our Sunday service, the Keep the Dream Alive service. Make some noise for that. If you was in Truth Church, you'd be saying true, but I'm not. True. Okay, and of course, yesterday we heard a fire preaching from our leader, Pastor Nicky. So I'm even trying to figure out, because I am first, I will actually establish the protocols. But if you're here for the first time, welcome to the Elite New Gen Community Unit. So if you're here for the first time, you're probably wondering what this is all about. We actually stem from, or have come from, a broader church known as the SPAC Nation Church, led by Pastor Toby, of course. PT. I was even wondering where that noise come from, but it's Pastor Chivs doing his due, ushering in the corner. So that's where we actually come from, and what the Elite New Gen community has actually been actioned to do, or set up to do, is to actually come into the East London, Hackney area and begin to provide solutions. So what we're actually doing in these community settings is we're actually decided that we're going to tackle things like youth unemployment. We've decided to tackle things like gang violence. We've decided to tackle things such as youth disengagement. So that's why we actually exist. That's why that we're here in this area, because we just realized that nobody was in these communities doing the work that needs to be done. So, and we come from a family where PT raises leaders that actually answer the questions. So that's what every single person in this building is actually here to be, because we believe that everyone sat here listening this evening is actually a solution for many, many people's problems. But without me going far ahead, of course, let me start by greeting some of the leaders in the building. We've got Pastor Chris, who's head of... Pastor Chris, who's head of strategy for safeguarding. We've got Pastor Crystal in the building. Of course, head of Music Nation, but also our real estate tycoon. Of course, anything to do with property. Of course, shout out Domus Residential. Of course, not with us right now, but I'll greet our leader, Pastor Nicky, head of the Elite family. Our assistant and senior pastor, Pastor Obi and Pastor Sam. And then, of course, our mother and our father, the assistant head of global strategy and the head of global strategy, Pastor Lucy and Pastor Toby. As you can see, I'm going very, very fast because I am on a timer. The floor team have been giving me the the warning every single week, saying that you're going over time, so I'm rushing as much as I can. But I'm using that to help somebody, isn't it? But of course, yesterday, PT actually launched us on a new campaign, a new fast. And this isn't a physical fast. I know normally for the churchgoers that, when they normally hear fast, they normally start cutting out the building because they're just thinking, how can I starve myself from food? But PT has actually commissioned us for a 90-day success fast. And from that 90 days, what PT is saying is that what that fast should do, it should actually transform our lives, because what we're saying is that we've decided that for these next 90 days, we're actually going to be picking up new habits that we can do that will help us achieve the goals that we want to do and dropping some bad habits. So it's actually a fast that actually has an intention behind it. We're not just starving ourselves. We're actually saying that we have a goal that we want to achieve. So in that same reasoning, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to choose 2 or 3 people. I'm going to choose some of the new guys as well to actually come up and share one of their dreams, because actually what PT has been commissioning us to do is to actually is on a campaign which is called Keep the Dream Alive. And that campaign is simply going out into our community. So we're going to be going through Hackney, we're going to be going to Beckton, South London, all these kind of areas, and we're actually going to be empowering people that actually do not have a hope, people that don't see that they can actually achieve their dreams. Growing up as kids, we all had a dream. Some of us wanted to be firefighters. Maybe if you was Pastor George, you wanted to walk on the runway. Pastor George just said he just wanted to be 6 foot. But as you can see, some of our dreams didn't come true. But in saying that, what Petey's actually saying is that we're actually going in our community and reigniting that dream that all these people had. Like myself, Apostle Tafara, I had a dream, and before I encountered the PT, that dream actually dwindled. Because of my upbringing and my circumstances and everything I could see, I was no longer able to dream. But I was able to encounter a Pastor Toby who was able to allow me to actually dream again, that was able to allow me to actually remember that I can achieve anything that I put my heart to. And that's what we're going out into the communities to do. We're actually reigniting that dreamer that is hidden in every single person. So what I'm going to do in this segment, I'm actually going to call up 1 or 2 people to come up and actually share one of their dreams, if not their dream, something that they want to achieve in the next 90 days. So you might even be here for the first time and you're thinking, wow, this is crazy. What am I going to say? But I'm sure everyone has something that they want to achieve. And what we're going to do with the leaders, we're actually going to partner up with every single individual in here. And we're actually going to work towards making sure that in 90 days, whatever it is that you've decided that you want to achieve, you will achieve it. Like I always mention, this isn't a church or a community unit where we just come and we just pray and go home. No, we're actually saying that we want to put the word in action. So actually, what the word comes to do is to actually make our dreams possible. Not even makes our dreams possible, it actually comes so that we can do the things that we set out to do. So when you see all the leaders in this building, when we're saying a Pastor Chris who's head of strategy for safeguarding, or a Pastor Crystal that's taken the property world, what we're saying is the reason that they're able to do that is because there is a word that was given to them.
Yes, sir.
We understand that everything that makes us in this house is the word that comes to us. So the same reason why you might end up being unsuccessful is the same word, because maybe you're hearing a word from your community. Maybe you're hearing a word from your friends or even your parents, and they're saying that you can't amount to much. But what the word actually says is that there's nothing that you cannot do. So long as you're hearing the word and you believe in me, there's nothing that you cannot accomplish. So I know I've gone into preaching and I'm not supposed to be preaching. I'm supposed to be calling people up to come up and share some of their dreams or some of the things that they want to achieve in the next 90 days. But before I do that, I'm actually going to call up a few of the leaders to actually share something that they've got from yesterday's service. So I'll start off with all the leaders that are cutting away. You can clap, I like that, that's fine. So I'm going to start off with Pastor Faith. And Pastor Faith is just going to come and share something that she got from yesterday. Just something small. It's not got to be anything too big. So you can come up and you can share something that you don't need a Bible reader, so you can come up.
Something I took away from yesterday was you forget about wishes. Like, wishes aren't something that they cannot come true, but a dream that you've been given is actually your assignment. And I remember when I came into the nation, I actually didn't know what I wanted to do. I had so many things and so many plans I thought I wanted to do, but I found leadership, and leadership was able to direct me and actually point me into where I am now, and even directing me into where I should be. And even that, those instructions are assignments that I've been given per time to complete. And I'm excited for these 90 days going forward and what I will become out of those 90 days, just following that instruction per time.
Thank you very much. Give her a round of applause. I'm looking at who I can pick on next. Don't worry, I won't pick you. They know who they are. Henny, if you want to come up and share something that you got from yesterday. It could even be an experience, if you want to add maybe.
To be honest, Faith said what I was thinking of. So yeah, like Pastor Stephen was saying he had a wish, but then obviously PN came and said that having a dream is better than having a wish, because when you have a wish, you're not in control, and you're relying on outside sources, or you're just relying on anything else. But then when you have a dream, it's something that's come to you for a reason, so I feel like that works out better. And then I liked when Pastor Nikki said that she was standing on purpose instead of standing on business. That really stood out to me. Yeah.
Thank you. And that was quite powerful, to be honest. But I'll get into that a little bit later. Everyone's trying their best to avoid me. I'm trying to think, who can I pick on next? Pastor Crystal.
I would just like to clarify, I'm not an OG, I'm very young, thank you very much. I'm Pastor Crystal. I think for me, Hensine said it about standing on purpose, and Pastor Nikki said, don't stand on business, stand on purpose. And I just thought about my purpose being in the nation and how long I've been here and the driving force. And the 90 days for me has come in a very timely fashion, because I'm just about to launch my property business. So in 90 days, I have to secure my first, I've given myself 3 clients, I've given myself a financial target, and I know it's achievable. One of the things that PT said is that we should have 3 negative habits that we want to drop, and one of mine was to drop fear. So telling myself that you can achieve those 3 clients, you can get that 20K, and I know I'm more than capable. I'm qualified in my industry, I've been doing it for 10 years, so there's no reason I can't do it. So yeah, that's mine.
That's amazing. And when you do come up, I won't get into that segment yet, but I'll take one more person for a word recap from yesterday. Who? Do you want to come up? Pastor, cool, you want to come? Pastor Casey.
I feel like a lot of the things that would have been said. Pastor Nikki said, it's the pain of yesterday that drives you towards the purpose of tomorrow. And I think everyone goes through certain things, everyone's experienced certain things, but it's about utilizing that pain and letting it fuel you towards what you're meant to do, or purpose. So aside from we stand on purpose, not business.
Once again, that's also very, very powerful, and that's the word recap. Of course, there is a SoundCloud link that can be sent for anyone that might have missed yesterday. You're hearing some of these leaders give their recap, and you're here for the first time, and you actually want to hear firsthand what was said yesterday, in yesterday's preaching, in yesterday's teaching. Of course, that can be sent to you. But of course, now, like I mentioned, there was a 90-day fast, success fast that we're calling it, that's been set. And we're actually just trying to see what we can achieve in the next 3 months. In the next 90 days, we're looking at what can we do, like Apostle Crystal said, what are the 3 habits, the 3 bad habits that she wants to drop, what are the 3 positive habits that she wants to pick up, what are the 3 major wins that she wants to achieve, well, who are the 5 souls that she wants to bring, and maybe for some of us, what's the 3 kgs that we need to lose. But that's not for everyone. Maybe some of us is 3 kgs that we need to increase. But of course, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to call up a few people just to come up and share 1 or 2 things about what they want to achieve in the next 90 days, hearing the word and hearing Apostle Crystal, we're hearing everyone that's just been speaking about what the word was saying yesterday. I think one of the key things I picked up from that previous segment was I'm not standing on business, I'm standing on purpose. And I believe that thing, it hit me as well, because I was thinking that's true, because businesses and all these things, they fail. But if you actually anchor yourself on purpose, you can never fail. You know, businesses come and go, but purpose is eternal. And that's something that we're taking away and we're holding on to. That's something that I'm personally holding on to. You know, Pastor Nikki began to speak yesterday about when your back is against the wall. And to me, that really stood out to me, because sometimes it can feel like all the odds are against you. But sometimes what God does is he actually puts the odds against you because he understands that there is a greater reward coming. I don't know if you're a betting man. Maybe you're not Pastor George and Pastor Ryan. That I know they're betting men, but you know when something looks unlikely, the odds are always higher. So that's how God kind of prepares our life. So sometimes when the challenges look like they're much, it's because what God is creating is a greater reward. But you won't get a greater reward if the odds are not against you. So anytime you see yourself or you see life looking challenging or tricky, it's because God is actually setting you up for greatness and success. But in saying that, like I mentioned, I'm going to call out 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 people to come up and share something that they want to achieve in the next 90 days. So I'm going to start with Evangelist Courtney, actually, to come up and share what he wants to achieve in the next 90 days. So you can come up.
90 days. I have a couple things I want to achieve. And I know through the help of the family, I'm going to do it. For those that do not know, I am a DJ. That's one of my passions, something that I'm very passionate about, something that I see myself doing for a very long time. And I want to start doing my own events as well, but I don't want it to just be normal events. That obviously it's summertime now, and there's hundreds of people throwing events all across London, all across the world. But I want mine to stand out, because I don't want it just to be a thing where people go, they'll party, they'll dance, and then they just go home. But I'll rather want to do networking events where people can come, they can get to know each other, get to know people, get to know one another. I've had this kind of thing where I call it a phone ban kind of event. So everyone puts their phones away, so they lock it up, and then it's literally just people talking, communicating with each other. Because one thing about, especially in the industry that I'm in, it's a lot about networking and getting to know one another. Being on your phone, being on social media and everything is great, but you really do get to see insights, and you get to know a person much more easier, much more quicker, face to face. And I've always loved conversation. I love conversating with people. So my events are not just going to be partying, but more like getting to know one another, getting to know people in different industries, and finding out what your passions are. And then through there, you can link up with people, you network with people, and you get to grow things with one another. So that's one thing I want to start doing in those 90 days. One bad habit. A bad habit I want to drop. I wouldn't say that there's so many, but I would say one bad habit I want to drop that I know will benefit me for the long run is stubbornness. What I mean by that is I'm a very passionate person. I like to say that, I like to tell people my side of the story. I like to get things. I like my voice to be heard. In a nutshell. But in the recent couple of weeks and months, I should say, I have noticed that you benefit a lot more, and you benefit a lot more through listening rather than speaking. And following instruction does help, because funny enough, so I had a conversation. It wasn't recent, it was a while back, but it is a conversation I always remember. It was with Pastor Daniel Jr., and he told me to remember where I got my power from. The reason why I'm a DJ and the reason why I'm actually really good in my field is because I was in the service. I was in church. I'm the person that taught me how to DJ. I met him in church. I met him here in SPAC Nation. So if I didn't attend that service, if I didn't attend that day, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be making the money that I'm making, and I wouldn't be living the life that I'm living. I love DJing. It's my passion. It's my heart. That's what I'm good at, and that's what I really like to do. So, by me listening to him tell me that, it made me realize that this is my power. This is where I originate from. So yeah, stubbornness is a habit I want to drop. and I'm going to put it on myself to listen more and follow instruction more. Yeah.
Wow, this man is a preacher, isn't it? Yeah, I'll leave that. Pastor just wanted me to do a personal joke, but because of what he said was so powerful, I'm gonna give Courtney a pass. I'm gonna call up maybe 2 or 3 more people to come up. Maybe if you've just come in the room, what we're currently doing is a segment called "What is your dream?" or "What do you want to achieve over the next 90 days?" So I'm gonna call up the young gentleman here with the pink shorts, just to. Yeah. So maybe if you tell us your name, how old you are, and then let us know what you want to achieve over the next 90 days, what you're passionate about. You can take your time. No, but you have to project your voice.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
You sure?
No, but you have to project your voice.
Oh, online. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. My name's Caleb. I'm 17, and for you said 90 days.
90 days.
Oh, cool. What do I have to do for the 90 days?
What do you want to achieve?
What do I want to achieve?
Think big. Don't go for this.
90 days is a lot, you know. I think I want to find a consistent money source over the 90 days. Because like, when you're 17 and you're at home, more time you're just banging games or something, or you're trying to do school and this and that. And I don't really get the luxury to do that sometimes, because the way it is for my family and how it is, I have to step up in terms. Like, I have to be the man. So if I could find a consistent money source to help my family and then help myself progress, find a job, and then find other ways to continue to do the things that I want to do, then that's good for me.
That's powerful. Give him another round of applause. I'm gonna pick the gentleman next to you, the one in the white top. So if you come out, follow a similar template.
Hello everyone, my name's Raheem.
Hi, Raheem.
I currently play football and I do bits of coaching with younger children, boys and girls in South London. And to be honest, I'm just looking to help increase participation in sports with younger children, people who feel like they're not capable enough of playing sports, and try and make money from that as well. Get some work experience, get a normal job, and just have fun. Because in life, I just want to have fun. So I'm not really all for that 9 to 5 stuff. I'm just trying to have fun.
I don't think we've met, but I saw you walk in. I don't know if I can. Yeah. Yeah. Can I pick you? Yeah. No worries. That's cool. Give her a round of applause. Your name, how old you are, a dream that you want to achieve in the next 90 days.
Hello everyone, my name is Sasha, I'm 22. Hi, I'm from South East London. One thing or 2 things I would like to achieve in the next 30 days is like landing a role in marketing, because I really like marketing and PR. And another thing is I'm with Emmanuel, E-Man, so we're doing, yeah. He's obviously the reason why I'm here today, so big him up, innit? We were doing like a photo shoot because I want to get into a bit of like modeling and stuff. So that's another thing I want to do. I want to build my portfolio for that as well. So by the grace of God in it, I'll be able to get those 2 things in the next 90 days. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. Once again, what an inspiring segment, hearing people's dreams and what they want to accomplish. And the reason that we have this segment, or the reason why we're pushing people to come up and say these things, is because what we're actually going to do is hold you accountable to those things. And when I say hold you accountable to those things, is that we're actually going to make sure that you achieve those things, because we truly believe that if you can listen to the word and take in everything that you're hearing, there's nothing that you won't be able to achieve. When we came here, there's things that we're now doing that we didn't know that we can accomplish. You know, we didn't know that we can set up companies as young black people and create businesses that make, you know, £500,000 in the space of 2 years. That wasn't a normal thing. You know, when we came in, if we would have thought that, we would have never thought it was possible. But what made those things possible was the word that we was hearing. And if anything is going to make the dreams that you have possible, it's going to be the same hearing of this word. And it was actually refreshing hearing you speak, Sasha, talking about the things that you want to achieve, because some of the answers or some of the pathways into achieving the things that you want to achieve are sat right here in this room. Like I mentioned, this is actually a community. What we're building here is a community of young people, one, that love God, and two, that prosper, that do well. So this is actually a support system. It's actually a system that you can come into and you can begin to thrive, where everybody is looking to help you achieve what you want to achieve. Of course, we have a broader goal that we want to achieve. We actually want to liberate this community. We've just decided that this area of Hackney, no matter how bad it is, you might be from, I think you said you're from Southeast, and you might see this similar problems in those communities, and we're just saying that we're not just going to be people that say, oh, look at them young kids, or why is there no opportunities? What we're going to do is we're going to create the opportunities. We're actually going to decide that we're going to stand for a generation. We're actually going to make sure that young people don't have to go down pathways that they don't want to. I was hearing the young man speaking, and he was saying that actually in his family he has to step up. And that was the story for many of us. You know, we had to step up. We didn't have a choice. The systems that we came into life didn't allow us to prosper. Our upbringings was not a springboard it wasn't a springboard to prosperity. You know, some of the people, our counterparts, maybe they grew up in Chelsea, maybe they grew up in Kensington, and their life was a lot more simpler than ours. You know, their parents had connection. Maybe they went to the best schools. We didn't go to the best schools. We didn't have parents that had connections. Matter of fact, our parents was actually looking at us to connect them to wealth, when actually that's what our parents should have been doing. But what we're saying here is actually there is a reprogramming. There is a community that you can come into that are willing, and not only willing, but that have the results and the resources to actually make you into the kind of person that you want to be. You know, a 17-year-old shouldn't actually be having to figure out how he's going to step up and feed his family. That's not the job of a 17-year-old. The job of a 17-year-old is to dream dreams and think, this is what I want to achieve in life. Yeah. So already you can see the limitations and disadvantages that we face. You know, another 17-year-old, like he said, is actually playing games this evening. They're on their computer, on their Xbox, whatever, living a carefree life. But for us, we don't have that luxury. We actually have to start thinking how we can get a job in Tesco, maybe, how we can get a job in KFC, and I hope not. But that's what we're thinking at the moment. Because we just want to provide for our family. We just want to help our parents. Maybe you've got a little brother and you're just thinking, how do I keep him from getting into a gang? So we're actually having to step up, when actually what we're supposed to be doing is dreaming. We're supposed to be sitting with ourselves thinking, how do I become what I truly want to become? So what we're saying here is welcome to a transformation ground that can actually prepare you and propel you to the person that you're supposed to be. You can see leaders standing right in front of you that have gone through similar situations like you're going through now, or even worse, but they've been able to hear this word and they're now doing extraordinary things. You can see the likes of a Pastor George, a Pastor Chris, a Pastor Whitney, a Pastor Casey. Pastor Casey actually from this area, Hackney, but now is one of the top people in Harrods, one of the top luxury people working in Harrods, and that was just because he listened to a word. Someone told him that he could be more than what his community have decided that he can be, because our communities have actually set us up to be drug dealers. And if you're really good, maybe a rapper, but to get to rapping, you first have to sell drugs. That's the issue. Otherwise, they're going to say, yeah, that rap he's singing, I don't rate it. So that's why we gather in these kind of places, and that's why we hear the word. And of course, I'm rushing because my time is actually up. So I hope you've heard something this evening that's inspired you. And I hope if those that have come up and shared their dream or shared what they want to achieve over the next 90 days, I hope it's not something that you're just saying. I hope it's something that you're going to take seriously. I hope it's something that you're actually going to say, you know what, I'm going to come here every single Monday to make sure that I can achieve the things that I'm saying. Because trust me, if you can be consistent in coming here every single Monday, there's no reason why you can't be consistent in the dreams that you have. It looks small, but faith is as small as a mustard seed. It's that if you can just have faith to be here every single Monday, there's no reason why you can't actually run the biggest PR company. Because as you're speaking, I'm not just seeing you as someone that's going to work in a PR company. I'm saying, no, why can't you own a PR company? Why can't you own a PR agency and employ other young girls that are from Southeast London? Because believe it or not, that's actually what God wants for you. I don't know what people have told you that God wants prior to this, but actually God wants you to reign. He actually wants you to be successful, and He wants you to liberate a generation of people. And that's what we're all here to do in our respective fields. So when we gather here, we're actually gathering as experts in fields, people that are going to go out in different industries and actually employ people. So Pastor, someone was saying about S. Rose's song, the I Wish song, I Wish. So as people are wishing, what God is doing in this room is He's creating the answer for those people's wishes. He's actually creating the people that are going to answer these wishes. Like I said, in some churches, they focus on praying. Here, we focus on being the answer to people's prayers. Yes, that's what we're actually called out to do. So sometimes the odds may be stacked against us. Sometimes the odds aren't in our favor, but that's because God is actually preparing us for this thing called greatness. So I hope you've heard something this evening and you're inspired and you're ready for this Sunday. Of course, this Sunday with Truth Church, once again, hearing from our senior leadership, hearing from a Pastor Sam, hearing from a PT, and actually embarking on that life transforming journey, because that's what Sundays is. Sunday is just a transportation method to get you to where you need to be, because we understand it's only the word that can transport us from being nothing into something. So once again, of course, there's more activities that we're going to do from here. But of course, for this segment of today, I'm going to round up. So I hope you've heard something. I hope you're ready for this week. I've been Pastor Tafara. Thank you very much.